Hello everyone, welcome to my first episode of my Pokemon Emerald Let's Play. This playthrough is going to be a Nuzlock randomizer, so what that means is Pokemon won't necessarily spawn or be found in their normal habitats. Every encounter will be randomized, including starters, and yeah, it's my first time doing a Nuzlock, so for those of you tuning in, thank you for following along. So we're just going to skip through the starting part of the game fairly quickly. Ideally, we want to get a couple badges fairly quickly and start moving through the game. We're going to go for Dylan. Alright. So a little fun fact, Pokemon Emerald was actually my first Pokemon game I ever had, and it's also my favorite and my favorite generation. So it's fitting to have this be my first Nuzlock. And we're loading in. Alright, now this is the part that will be a bit systematic. We're going to try and get through this and pick our starter as soon as possible. And for anyone wondering, we are playing on a Mac ROM. We're going to set the the options first to fast, and my favorite frame. The clock for this playthrough isn't of any concern to me. Finished everything. All the movers are out of the house, so we are now going to run back down and find that our mom is calling us over to the TV and our father has just been on the news. And unfortunately, we miss his coverage, and that's that. We can now move over to our neighbor's house. A lot more empty dialogue. She tells us that her daughter is upstairs. She's nowhere to be found. Mystery Pokeball, and May walks in. Oh, you're Dylan, so you must have moved in today. So I guess we've made our first friend. And running through the dialogue, she's done for now. At this point, we'd be able to go north of Little Root Town. Ordinarily, this young girl would have blocked you from exiting without a Pokemon, but now that we've finished the dialogue, she tells us that she's scared. And Professor Birch is running around, frightened. He's being attacked by a Pokemon. We're going to come over to his bag, and we will have Lairon, Lunatone, and Meryl for our starters. And I believe we are going to take Meryl. Main reason being, ideally, we can sweep through the first gym easily, and in the case that we do keep Meryl for the long term in this Nuzlock, it'll be a nice HM slave. I don't plan on keeping her in the team, but she may be of use. So for these episodes, it might be a little bit less dialogue heavy, a lot more gameplay. However, I will be adding some speech over the game, and episodes may vary in time, but hopefully it will be a short series in terms of episodes, not in terms of length. So just to go over some of the Nuzlock rules, we can only catch Pokemon that are the first encounter on each route. The second rule is that when a Pokemon faints, it can no longer be used in the Nuzlock. And yeah, for the most part, that's what we need to keep in mind. Obviously, this is a randomized Nuzlock, so it's not normal Pokemon that will be spawning. It will be randomized. I'm not going to give Meryl a nickname, and of course it's B locked, and we're going to go see May. So we exit his laboratory. Alright, so going north of Little Root Town. Unfortunately, I can't catch any Pokemon yet. I do not believe we were given Pokeballs. Yeah, no. So now would be an unfortunate time to run into something useful to us. Crossing through Oldale Town. The old man will show us the Pokemart. And we obtain the potion as a promotional item. That may come in handy. We do not need to heal Meryl, so we can move straight up towards Route 103, where we will find May awaiting us at the top of the hill. Just showing us that we got the Pokemon as a gift, and now we're going to find out who her Pokemon is. And hopefully it's nothing we are weak to, and a Torchic, so we are in luck. I suppose it did not randomize her Pokemon, as I believe Meryl was in Trico's slot, so interesting. We're going to be able to beat Torchic at this rate. And one or two more hits should do. There we go, critical hit to end off the fight. And we do level up. I'm not sure what Meryl's moveset and learn levels are, but I would assume she'll learn a water type attack before the first gym. We can skip through this dialogue, it's not very important. She wants us to meet her at the lab, so we're going to follow her back to Little Root Town. Over here, let's hurry home. Indeed. And we should receive Pokeballs at this point, I believe. So then catching will become important to us. Hi Dylan, I heard you beat May. She's been helping me with my research. He ordered these. The Pokedex has been received. Oh, doing field work. You got a Pokedex too, just like me, and yes, we received the Pokeballs. So we put those away. And our adventure begins. So, I'm not sure whether I want to avoid Route 1, or Route 102, I believe, now, or take on a battle now and try to catch it. So our mother gives us a going away present, the ever-returning running shoes, and at this point we can sprint. So we're off onto Route 101, and our first encounter will be a ferret. So I suppose I should have healed before going into this. We'll do a tackle. In fact, we're going to try and run, because I don't believe I have that much of a use. It may have been a waste to not take on a Pokemon into the team, but I don't think I need a ferret. I really don't feel that I'm going to need him. So we'll move up into the Pokemon Center, heal our Meryl, and we'll move north to get our first Pokemon. Hopefully not a ferret. Hopefully we can find something easy to train against as well, because it seemed like that ferret would not take much damage. So let's buy some more Pokeballs. Let's do 15. Why not? You never know. Alright, we're going to come up to Route 103 and hopefully encounter something new. A Swellow is very nice to get. Hopefully we can catch it. Okay. So our damage is hopefully going to be enough to get it. No, not yellow quite yet. We're going to have 2 chances at a Pokeball before we faint. Let's use the Premier Ball. I have a feeling this may go south. We'll keep trying, and our luck is in. We catch our first Pokemon for the Nuzlocke. Now this is a Pokemon I do believe I like to keep around long term. We'll call it Chickadee. We'll call it Chickadee with a C, after my favorite bird. And it'll be nice to have some high base stats on that Pokemon to start ourselves off. It won't be useful for our Rock Sand gym, but it will definitely come into handy with Brawly. Alright, so at this point we can move on to Route 102. I think I'm actually going to leave our catch for a later point, and more attack, but we'll level up Meryl for now. We're going to need her for the first gym anyway. So we'll use these trainers to level her up. Hopefully we don't get growled too early. And it does look like we'll be able to faint the Poochyena. And that's a good timing on the Howl. And that will be our first trainer. Now we're going to have to run back to the Pokemon Centers quite a bit, as due to the Nuzlocke rules, if anyone faints, they're permanently removed from the team, and obviously we do not want our Meryl removed this early on. Ideally, she can at least level up quite a bit for the first gym, and if we can keep her around for Roxanne with a good move set, she might be able to last. With Surf, she could have a moveset that's viable long term, but I'm just not familiar at this point with her moveset. After this first episode, I'll make sure to research up on her levels and moves. Critical hit is nice. Alright, level 7 already. tackle. Tackle. And it's just a back and forth at this point. Hopefully she can learn a water type move so these battles can go a bit quicker. But I'm sure that will come in time. Alright, and we do find our encounter for this route. Graveler is an interesting one to get. I do think I'm going to run. This may seem wasteful, but I really don't want to waste my Pokeballs on that, especially given its low level. I don't feel that we're going to need it at this point in the game, but it's good to know that it's on this route because we can use that once we get a water type attack to level up quite quickly. And that's Nurse Joy done. Exiting. And we're going back to Route 102. We will take on this trainer. We'll see what we come up against. So it's interesting that this ROM doesn't seem to have randomized trainer battles. However, that's fine. It'll still make for an interesting playthrough. Perhaps a bit more predictable, but that's all right. Once Meryl unlocks a water type move as well, it'll be quite easy to switch level Swellow up as well. And once Swellow starts learning flying and normal attacks, it'll be very good for training future Pokemon. So we end with a critical, 51 EXP, and we move on to the Shroomish, which we will keep Meryl in for. I don't believe it will have a grass type move at this point. And I was wrong. That did not age well. We will have to switch into Swellow. Chickadee comes out. Hit with the tackle. We are going to go for a pack for stab, as well as the super effective and crit. That's a one-shot, and that should be it. Meryl to level 8, and Chickadee halfway. So it does seem like Chickadee can do quite a bit more damage than Meryl, so ideally we can level Chickadee up quite quickly as well. I actually might switch our frames. I haven't played through in a while. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's go with 16. And at this point we will... Well, I suppose we'll get this out of the way. Hi, are you a member? They first check what kind of gym is in town. So little does this man know, this is our father's gym. Obviously, anyone who's played through this game is aware that we can't battle this gym yet. However, we do come and meet our dad. Well, if it isn't Dylan, I'm surprised that you managed to get here. And as we have a little chit-chat, in comes Wally. And he's asking us to help him get his first Pokemon. So I presume this won't be randomized either. He will receive a Ralts. And our father has asked us to help him catch this Ralts. I always found that he was that Wally was an underutilized character in this series. I believe they did use him a bit more in the remakes for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but I do wish they used him a bit more in the storyline of Emerald. So we will see him get his Ralts. trying to skip through this as fast as possible. See the Pokeball. Well, look, he has one ball and he catches Ralts. So hopefully we can move past this quite quickly. Alright. If you want to become a trainer, there you should challenge after. Alright. So at this point, we will meet Scott. Although I do believe that's his name, Scott. He's roaming the land in search of trainers, and he does not give us any attention at this point. Little does he know, we will reach glory one day. So I'm going to try and get a couple more or perhaps not Gravelers yet because there's no water move, but once we do get our first water type move, we'll definitely move on to training against those. So Nuzleaf is definitely not ideal to come up against. With Meryl, we'll switch to Chickadee and level him up to level 4, presumably. And the Peck isn't quite enough. Although I suppose our run-in with Shroomish was a critical as well, so that may have played a role in the attacking capabilities. It might be a bit lower than we'd thought. But yes, we do see Chickadee reach level 4. At this point, we might want to look at their... So we have a Brave and a Gentle. And they do seem quite alright. Stats-wise, we'll heal up and move on. We can come back and train here once Meryl gets a water type move if we want. It might help to try and catch a Pokemon on our next route. We don't want to skip too many early on because all it takes is a couple deaths. So who will our role be? And that is a joke. Alright, so hopefully the stats aren't so high that we can't capture it. And yeah, we should have seen that coming. We will switch to Chickadee. If we're going to lose one or the other, I do think losing Chickadee is a bit less burdensome just because of the level difference. And it may be... We'll throw a ball and we'll see if our luck is in, and then we might call it quits at that point. To get a Mewtwo this early on would be very, very nice. And yeah, the odds are we're not going to be able to end up with this Mewtwo. We'll throw one last ball, given the damage we received. Yeah, we're going to leave this Mewtwo. It's a bit unfortunate that we ran into it at this point. And hopefully we don't die to this. And we did. So with the purpose of saving time, I will remove Chickadee per the Nuzlocke rules, but I will move on with Meryl as opposed to restarting the Nuzlocke. So we say goodbye. A very short stunt with Chickadee. But we'll maintain Meryl just for the sake of not having to restart the series this early on. However, we cannot capture a Pokemon from Route 104 anymore, which is unfortunate, but I suppose it will happen. So at this point, I think what I'm going to do is just train up Meryl. Hopefully we can get her to a level where when we do run into Mewtwo's or other things of that caliber, we won't fall victim to the stat difference that easily. It's unfortunate that we lost to Chickadee that quick. These growls really make these take quite long. And we will finish this off. 63 XP and we're halfway. The second one will hopefully not be an issue due to grass type moves. I don't believe, although I said the same with Shroomish, I don't believe Seedot learns Absorb. Hopefully we're not wrong on that, although this will be a very long battle due to the initial growls and the hardens at this point. Yes, it's Bide. Alright. So we'll hit another tackle and hopefully we will not die from this Bide. Yeah, not close, so we should be able to come out of this with an easy XP gain. On the next Bide, we will definitely use a potion if we need to, but I think if he keeps using growth and harden, we might not have to. Yeah, we're definitely not going to have to get to that point, thanks to that critical. So one more tackle should do it, and we will hopefully level up to level 9. It's like walking through mist, not knowing what levels Meryl will eventually learn moves at. Pardon me, I just walked into the gym by accident. We're going to the Pokemon Center to heal up. And as Nurse Joy works her magic, I will quickly check what level Meryl learns her moves at in Gen 3. On Cerebi. So, pulling it up now, we're going to Gen 3. We get Water Gun at level 10, so that's a bit reassuring. Rollout 15, Bubble Beam 21, and we evolve at level 18. So Bubble Beam will be after that, and then Azumarill will gain Bubble Beam at 24. So we do gain Bubble Beam at level 24 once we get that Azumarill. So I think what we'll do is keep Meryl / Azumarill in the team, at least until Flannery. I think at that point we might end up removing her, depending on what our team looks like at that point, just because it definitely does lack in some departments, moves and stats. Although I suppose HP is quite high on the Azumarill. Again, a shame we can't get ourselves a Mewtwo, but wouldn't be a very long grind if we did get that good of a Pokemon that early on. But it does seem like not every individual battle is randomized. It seems like whoever did create this ROM set it up in a way that you do see reoccurring Pokemon on the same route in place of who would normally spawn in there. And what we'll do for moving forward is we'll avoid encounters if possible, but if we do find one, we will definitely try and catch whoever we encounter. But at this point, it might just help to level up Meryl to the point that she can defeat Roxanne, and ideally then swap train whoever we do catch next. And I think what I'll do moving forward is I'll train off screen out of the episodes in terms of just plain leveling up. But before every episode, I'll recap what happened, what I've done, and I will screen record anything just in case. But I don't believe that it's worth uploading that many hours of training just for this series. And I think for episode 1, we'll aim for Roxanne. If we can beat Roxanne, then we'll end the episode there. The other thing, I'll make sure not to catch any Pokemon off screen. I think that should be kept for within the episode. So if I do train it, I'll be locked to routes that have either been that have been covered in the previous episodes. So we are going to use our. I do believe we still have a potion. Yep, we're going to use our potion now. Although I let it slide with the Mewtwo, I'm going to do my best to stay true to the Nuzlocke rules. So if Meryl does faint, moving forward we will, unfortunately, lose. Now I think what I'll do is, if at any point we do lose the Nuzlocke moving forward, I think I'll want to restart fresh until we can beat the Elite Four. Ideally, we do that in the first run, but I'm viewing this as a challenge as my first Nuzlocke. I don't have much experience with it, so in terms of the strategy and long-term planning, I'm definitely not familiar with it, although I have seen my own fair share of series on YouTube. I have been playing Pokemon for many years, but obviously there's a big difference between a Nuzlocke challenge and a regular playthrough. Fainting is quite the burden. So there we go. I think I'll also avoid evolving off of screen. If I do want to evolve Pokemon, I'll make sure to do that during episodes. So the training at that point would mean that I would stop training a level before they level up, or if it's a specific leveling issue, evolving issue, like a stone, I'll make sure to get the Pokemon that I'm training to whatever level they need, and then I won't evolve using the stone until we're back into the episode. So we're just going to get this easy XP off of Magikarp to get us as close to level 10 as we can get, so that hopefully we can use Water Gun in the next phase, working towards Peterborough. Nothing's happened. So we see quite the long battles here. So to fill this empty air, the reason I don't name my starters is whenever I have in the past, it's always kind of been almost like an omen. I find that whenever I do name them, I end up removing them from the teams. So I figured in the case that I do want to keep Meryl, I'll stay true to that rule of mine. That's not to say I never do, but in terms of a serious playthrough, I don't like naming my starters. Yeah, we didn't take any damage. So at this point, I'll do another battle out here. Hopefully not a Mewtwo. So a Weezing would have been interesting if that had been our encounter to catch on this route. I don't think we would have... There you go. I was going to say, I don't think we would have managed to catch it due to self-destruct. And luckily we do survive it, and that puts us to level 10. So we can back out with Water Gun, back to the Pokemon Center, heal up, and then we can take on the next stages towards Peterborough. Petalburg, pardon me. So Nurse Joy will work her magic on Lonely Meryl, and hopefully... Honestly, I think we might go for a catch in the next location. I think that it's a bit risky running just Meryl. Had that self-destruct been a critical or managed to kill us, that would have been very unfortunate. So I do think we should have at least one backup at this point. So hopefully... A Walrein is interesting. It'll have high stats, which is a bit unfortunate, and Water Gun will be no use. But hopefully our level advantage has made a difference enough that we can at least get its health down. Encore is interesting. And if we do manage to catch this, we might swap, as I was talking about, like, Meryl not quite being ideal for the long-term. Walrein with already a water-type move definitely swaps in for Meryl. And then Meryl drops down to the HM slave spot, as well as our backup, in case Walrein were to faint. Powder Snow shouldn't do too much, 1 damage. And we're going to hit another tackle. I think we have room for 2, presuming we don't hit a critical, which would be quite unfortunate if we do knock it out, because it does seem like we'll be able to catch this. Frozen Solid is unfortunate, so what we're going to do is just move on to Pokeballs. I don't think... yeah, it's poison, so we'll try and catch it. Hopefully it's able to be caught at that HP without requiring our entire bag. If we do get low to the 5 area, I will, if possible, unfreeze myself and damage it a bit more. In fact, we'll just throw one more ball and then we'll move towards unfreezing. It seems like its catch rate is still quite low. Yeah, we're going to have to unfreeze and attempt more damage. The good news is it does seem like we'll have time. And I don't believe Pokeballs add to the move count of the freeze. So yeah, we're still from there. The Encores are definitely a nice given turn. And I believe we have a strong chance of unfreezing at this turn. No. 5 should be the maximum, so with an increased chance each time. So yeah, so next turn is our unfreeze. And we're hit with another Powder Snow. I don't believe it's worth using any of our turns on stat reducing. Wow, I thought perhaps it's other status things that have a 5 max turn. I was under the impression that it would... Wow. This is unfortunate. This is not good RNG on our end. Either on the catches or the unfreeze. So I think we're going to move back into Pokeballs for a couple turns. I'm not sure if we even can get unfrozen at this point. It seems either glitched or perhaps just some of the worst RNG possible. We'll throw a couple more Pokeballs. We are getting bounces, so if our luck's in, we might be able to pull it out of the bag. This is taking quite longer than I'd expected. We'll try for another unfreeze. Hopefully we can break through it on this turn. If not, we're starting to get down to the wire. I'm not sure if this is a glitch or not. I was under the impression 5 was the point at which you unfroze. 5 turns, that being. Yeah, I'm not going to bother trying to unfreeze anymore at this point. If we can't catch it, that'll be unfortunate, and it'll be a bit of a waste, but so be it. I will use the Oran Berry as our HP drains lower. Yeah, we're only getting 1 rolls. We haven't gotten a 2 yet, so it does seem like we're not going to be able to catch this Walrein. I'm almost wondering if it's even worth using the Oran Berry at this point and just fleeing and saving some Pokeballs. We got 2 on that one, so I think we'll stick it through. It's a bit of a risk in terms of Pokeball loss, but as well as risking this in general. And that's another 2. We are getting closer. Perhaps the next one will be the lucky ball. We're going to use the Oran Berry right away, now that we're at health that low. 10 HP should get us a couple other turns. Not quite sure if it'll be enough to drain our remaining Pokeballs, but hopefully we won't have to get to that point. So that's 3 rolls. We have been increasing over time. I'm hoping that in the next 2 Pokeballs we can land a catch. I think we landed 2, maybe it was 3 double bounces, so maybe this is some sort of build up to the catch. No, we're back to loose rolls. It's quite unfortunate that we weren't able to catch this sooner, and possibly even at all. Wow. The RNG has not been a fan of ours through this run. This is our last ball, and hopefully we can land a catch. That is a joke, but I am very happy with that. I am very content. So we're actually going to nickname this. We'll call him, let's name him Tundra. Short little name. And funny how the second you get that catch, all your stress goes away from before that. So we're going to back out, go to the Pokemon Center. We want to heal them both back up. And I think what we'll do is we'll keep moving forward with Meryl for the first gym. At that point, hopefully she'll be a high enough level that we can switch train Walrein a bit. Once Walrein gets a high enough level, or Tundra, pardon me, we'll come back here afterwards and train off camera. Once that's done for the next episode, Tundra will be a higher level, if not closer to Meryl, and that way we can switch her into our... Actually, I'm not sure if it's a male or a female, but I do believe it was a female. Yes, we'll switch Tundra in for Meryl as our main Pokemon in the team. We'll take a look at Tundra's stats really quickly. So Heat and Cold, Protection, Bashful, High HP, Powder Snow, Water Gun. Powder Snow is interesting. It'll be nice for the 6th gym. If Tundra lasts that long, that is, obviously. But it's nice to have a strong Pokemon with that type of move. So we're going to battle this. Hopefully get Meryl up to a 15, 16 level area. If we can evolve it, which I'm not sure we'll be able to. It'll depend on how many trainers we want to use on it and what level it is by the time we get to Rustburg. Pardon me, we had a glitch. And yeah, so sorry about that little visual glitch. But we are going to keep moving forward. The reason I'm still using Tackle is I just want to spam through the battles. I don't think Water Gun would make that big of a difference, but we can definitely try on the next Wurmple. I'm not so sure if it'll make that big of a difference in terms of the amount of moves it'll take to knock it out. Oh, maybe I was wrong. I suppose the stab pushes it a bit up. Yeah. So that's Meryl halfway to 11. Don't remember these Wurmple being such low levels. Even though there was a 4 Pokemon trainer, I presumed they'd be more closer to the 5 area by now. Given how weak their moveset is, but that's alright. We do get the Poochyena XP moving us closer to a higher level coming up as well. Well, that's quite interesting. So, in a way, we could have picked a different starter and hypothetically ended up with the same Azumarill, but Walreign's definitely a much stronger Pokemon to have in the party, so I think it worked out quite well. Either way, I would keep the Meryl / Azumarill as more of an HM slave. I don't see it being the strong hitter in the team. A Stab Surf is definitely a strong move, but for the Elite Four in Emerald, it's not going to be our main hitter. We'll definitely want to make sure to get maybe a fighting type or perhaps a grass type I like to have on hand. And then if Walrein does manage to make it throughout the entire series, an ice type move on a bulky Pokemon like that will definitely help out with dragon types. So at this point, Meryl should hit level 11. There we go. So this was our first encounter with Team Aqua. Some nerve meddling with Team Aqua. Come and battle me again. As he runs off. And this random gentleman thanks us. I know I'll give you a great ball as my thanks. And that will hopefully come in handy on our next encounter. I will try and limit that encounter because I do want to level up a bit more to be a bit more secure in our... Oh, we'll take the trainer now. I want to level up a bit more so that we can be a bit more secure in our battling. As you saw with the Walrein, obviously the HP got quite low, and had things gone a bit worse, it might have ended up with a fainted Meryl. And we'll also have to purchase a lot more Pokeballs moving forward. I mean, it was quite predictable to know that it would take quite a few Pokeballs. I didn't think it would take all of them on the Walrein. Maybe if we had managed to get it down to a red HP, it would have gone a bit quicker, but that's alright. So this water gun is definitely starting to come in handy now. And it will become even more useful when we hit the rock type gym. So we'll pick this up. I actually think I might challenge Roxanne right into entering the city. I think that with Walrein as a backup, it'll be a bit more safer, and with the stabs, the water gun, it'll hopefully go over quite well. We'll pick up the Oran berries as another HP backup. So that is done. I think we're gonna leave the female trainer up ahead for Walrein training off camera. I don't want to have no trainers to fight and only have to resort to the wild Pokemon, but that's alright. She'll also be helpful because I believe she pays out a higher amount, or perhaps it's this trainer, but one of the two trainers on this route does pay out a higher cash reward, and that'll be nice for purchasing more balls. Now, our HP is getting a little bit low. Yeah, it is this one, the Rich Boy Winston. I believe, anyway. I do believe he pays out a higher amount, maybe even both, but I do remember there being one trainer who pays out a higher cash reward. So we can take 2 more tackles, and I'm trying to gauge perhaps one more. We'll have to see on this next attack. I'm trying to gauge whether or not we need to heal. I think we'll be fine. Yeah, we'll be fine. Even if it had landed, I think it would have left us with 4 to 6 HP. So we would have had one final turn to heal on, using one of those Oran berries we picked up. So that's the end of the Rich Boy. $1,400 is a nice addition. We're going to leave this trainer, and we will have to heal for the double battle. I actually forgot there was a double battle on this route, but it'll hopefully give us a bit of XP into Tundra. I think we're going to leave the Oran berry. If we do need to use it in the battle, we can use it then. But 2 stab Pokemon moves against, I believe, weak Pokemon. Oh, C-Dot and Lotad might be a bit of an issue. We'll use Sheer Cold on C-Dot right away to get a... We'll go with Tackle on Lotad, avoid the damage reduction. And Powder Stone, I'm not sure if it hits all 3 of us or just the 2 of them. I'm quite glad it does that, in fact. Just the 2 of them. So C-Dot's at half. We will definitely manage to make it out. Hopefully we don't get hit with a super effective move. It doesn't seem like we will. I don't think Lotad is going to hit us with anything either yet. So we do end up wasting that Oran berry, I think, but better safe than sorry. Especially with the Nuzlock rules leading up close to this gym right here. We don't want to lose our Meryl, or Walrein for that matter, but I was more concerned about Meryl's health. The training would be a lot more risky. If we had to move up from level 6 again, we'd have to go back to probably route the beginning routes and just work our way up slowly. So I'm glad we don't have to do that now. So I think level 12 is high enough, considering the stab. And then if Meryl does faint, obviously that's not ideal, but I want to just get this first gym battle under our belt, and that way we can move forward. Now for the videos, you will see that in this episode, the boxes in the video will just have Meryl in it. Moving forward, we'll update that at the end of every episode, moving into the next one to reflect our team. So in the next episode, you should see Tundra featuring. We'll take the trainers on with Meryl. I don't really feel like we need to use those XP on our Tundra. And it'll hopefully give us a bit more of a buffer for the actual gym leader. So yeah, we're well, the critical might have played a role in that one hit, but I do think we're at a point where our stats and the fact that we're getting stabbed super effective will lead us to some easy gym battles. right here. And I did not mean to take that double battle, but in a way it's not the end of the world. We can do a double water gun. I think Walrein's stats make up for its low level a bit in terms of damage. And then we can get it a bit of XP out of these battles. So not all of it's going towards Meryl. So yeah, we're going to hit the water gun and the water gun. Tundra's the one I'm curious about. Knowing it's a one-shot makes me feel a bit better about having it as a backup with Roxanne. Because in the case that Meryl doesn't make it out, it's really the nose pass I'd be concerned about. I think Walrein might have the stats, especially now at level 7, to finish whatever Meryl does start. It shouldn't have any problems with the initial Geodude she has, but the nose pass can be problematic sometimes, especially with the rock tombs. But I think, yeah, as the amount we're leveling up at this point should set us apart to be able to beat Roxanne. And I think Graveler will yield a bit of XP back on, what was it, Route 104, I believe. There were Gravelers, so I'm probably going to do most of my off-screen training with Tundra there. Hitting it with just water guns will be a safe bet. I don't think it has self-destruct at that level. I'll make sure to do my research before and not walk in with a fainted Tundra. But yeah, that will be the plan in between episodes. So at this point, this will be the final battle of the episode. Would you kindly demonstrate how you battle and with which Pokemon? So as we load into this gym battle, Roxanne strutting her ever classic look, throws out her Geodude against our Meryl, and it shouldn't be an issue at all. We hit it with the water gun, and we get a one-hit KO. We might even be able to move up to level, we will hit level 14 prior to running into her nose pass. I almost wonder if maybe we should just switch into our Walrein. The issue with Tundra is I don't want to risk losing her on the first gym. A speed loss at this point isn't too big of an issue. We can still hit it on this turn. I'm not sure if Tundra hits heavier than Meryl is the only thing. I'll check their stats before I make up my mind, and I'll go with whoever has the highest stats. Because being a third generation in its family, it does have higher HP remaining, has higher attack, we'll go with Walrein. That way we can get some nice XP on it as well, maybe even get it up to level 10, I'm not sure. Yeah, if we do manage to kill it with it, we'll get it up to level 10. This way we can also take in a couple of speed losses on Tundra, and if its HP gets low, we can swap out a Meryl. I honestly don't know. Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect with damage-wise. Hardens aren't going to be an issue because of the special attack, but hopefully we don't take too much damage on Walrein. Tundra is hitting quite hard. I'm curious to see how much damage this Rock Tomb does. Yeah, half our health is going to be an issue. We're going to switch out to Meryl, especially with the Citrus Berry. Well, it isn't a Ranberry, that's a bit better. Yeah, we're going to switch out to Meryl. Hopefully we can see another Harden. Rock Tomb isn't ideal again. Less damage though, so we're going to keep Meryl in. Even if it does faint, that will be the end of Meryl. We'll see some damage on this next water gun, and then, nope, unfortunately that's not enough. So this is a very risky point to be in. I'm going to run the Powder Snow. And yeah, we did not hit the freeze. I think we might be eliminated at this point. I hate to have to do this, but again, I'm gonna remove the Meryl, but I will keep Walrein. Or perhaps, you know what? Honestly, we're gonna keep them both. I think that was maybe more of a learning curve thing. We'll end the episode here. I'm gonna go train them up off camera. I doubt many people will have seen the entire episode anyway, so for the purposes of my playthrough, at this point, I'm just going to keep them in. I think that it's probably a bit better than restarting at this point. That being said, moving forward, I will stay true to the rules. I'm going to play it a bit more cautiously. I think that not having any levels up in the first episode made it a bit harder to progress through the different stages. So hopefully once we get them a bit higher leveled, it'll be easier to move through this gym and the following routes. So thank you for watching. If you did make it this long, I know it was quite a long episode. It's more of just a series for me to do and have fun over the summer with COVID. So again, I will train off camera. I won't evolve Meryl. I'll probably stop at level 17. And then for Tundra, I will level it up quite a bit, but I don't want to over level to the point that the gameplay isn't really fair. So yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.